Hello. Hi, Shelby. How are you today? Hey, Joe, Gus, Lagertha. I am $1 Million Month Mama. Rosa. Hello, hello. I'm just setting up my laptop. And I have my fan on. I don't know if that's annoying. I gotta have it on. It's hot here. And I just spilled my drink on my shirt. That's always attractive and sexy, isn't it? Hold on one second. Almost done, almost done. There we go. Okay. We're a little crooked, but we'll live. Hey, Rhonda. What's up, Hawkeyes? Feel like it's been 1,000,000 years. You're having a heat wave in UK as well. Really? I'm trying not to complain, but I don't like it too hot. You know what I mean? Kim, oh my God, I had a major blow up in my 3D yesterday and I needed this live. Someone told me something horrible about my SP and I'm gutted. Oh dear. Well, I could say lots of things about that. Hearing terrible things doesn't always mean it ends up being terrible. Get what I'm saying? Does that sound like a reality? And new reality? Could it be that? Bet you it is. You were just thinking about me, Franny? Thank you. Thank you. I think about you guys all the time. Speaking of which, really quick, if you are a hot seat members, if you're in the hot seat membership, this is just another reminder that there is no hot seat group this week because I will be away. Just saying. I would like to, I was going to leave it as a surprise just in case I could because I don't want to make promises, but I was hoping to maybe come on for a really, really short live stream. Like we're talking short, like maybe 30 minutes because I'm on vacation. And yeah. And the only reason why I said we're not having the hot seat is because that's normally like 2 hours. That group is 2 hours. So I might do a live stream from our hotel room on Friday. And I won't know a time until later, obviously, in the week. Because, well, we're on vacation. But I know I can find 30 minutes. I know I can. And I wanna it's the Hawthorne Hotel. And it's, I don't know, it's supposed to be, I don't know if it's haunted. You can hear all the stories. But I'm trying to think. But we'll be at 2 different places, so we're not staying there the whole time. So anyway. Let me see. Oh my God, Monica. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Kim, I am legit going through it. I didn't get any of the jobs I wanted. I had interviews, etc., and got rejected. And 3P account is back, and she changed her last name now too, like with SP's last name, but they're not really married, right? They're not really married. Okay. What the fuck? I thought she was gone. I got movement, and then opposite. This happens all the time, Monica. I don't think I'm not being sympathetic to all the shit that's going on. I'm sympathetic to your feelings. But this happens all the time. There's nothing wrong. Really? Right? Feel your feelings. Get the stress out. Get the tears out. But this means nothing. This doesn't mean you're not going to end up having the life you want. Okay, so it didn't unfold exactly the way you would have preferred. That doesn't mean all hope is lost. Doesn't mean this is over. Who are you? Step out of the version of yourself that is feeling all the feelings, afraid of the 3D, really believing what's in front of her. Step out of there for a minute and come back to the observer. The observer is your true self, right? The I am. Come back. Okay, so we have this avatar over here, Monica, who is embodying a version of herself where it looks like everything's going tits up. That's the avatar. This is not the end-all be-all. This goes for anybody going through anything, right? Feel your feelings. We're not trying to say stuff your feelings down, you know, get over it. That's not the message. But you're more than that avatar. You're much more than that. And at every given moment, you are what? You are showing up as a version of yourself. You're choosing a version of yourself. You're embodying a state of consciousness. You're moving through states. Okay? So this is just one version. There's the you who can have it all. What does that take? It takes your awareness. So let's bring our awareness back and place it where we want it. Monica, this is not, you know, everything's over with. Everything's failed. This is not one of those moments. Okay, so the jobs you interviewed for, I know it feels like that, but it's not. And this is why. I'm saying that it's not over because, Monica, do you think that my own journey was a perfect, rigid, straight line? No, it wasn't. We took some loops. We went up and down some hills, right? Some zigzags, some sharp lefts and sharp rights. I think I just said that the wrong way. And I think, I'm not saying it has to be that way. I'm just saying I think that's everybody's journey. We go all different, you know, twists and turns, but we get the outcome. We get the outcome we want. But how we get there might not look exactly like we think it should. And that can be uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean you're not getting what you want. It doesn't mean you don't end up exactly being the self you want to be. Step out of the avatar, come back to the observer. And really that's the answer to just about anything. Knowing yourself as source. Seeing through the story. Right? Everything is a story. Everything. Every connection with everything. Story. Conditioning. But not the end all be all. And stories can change. Things can change. You can change. You can be any version of yourself you want to be. And reality will what? It will bend, twist, and reflect. And with that bending and twisting, I mean bending to your consciousness, to what you are aware of. So once you've had the moment of getting the tears and the frustrations out, once we're there, bring it back. Come on back to the observer and choose who you want to be. I know you don't want to be the version of yourself that doesn't have what she wants in all the areas of her life. So bring it back. It's going to change. Again, not everything always looks like a perfect, like horizontal straight line. It doesn't. But that doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't mean you're not going to land where you want to be. So let's get the focus off of, definitely off the third party. As far as like how you found out that the 3P account is back, I would love to hear how you are aware of that. Because I just find it a little bit hard to believe that, you know, you got a magical message in an inbox somewhere that said, oh, that account is back. There had to be some looking somewhere. Why were we looking? Right? Where were we looking? How do we know? How did that information come to you? Because if we're looking, if we're going through their social media, if we're looking through what they're doing, who's liking their messages or their uploads and things like that, what are we looking for? We're looking to find something that we don't want. And eventually, if we continue to do it, we're going to find it. Because who are you? Who are you? What version of you are you when we're searching? Yeah, no stalking socials is helpful. It's beyond helpful. When you feel inclined to go on your person's social media and start searching through who their connections are, let me reword that. When you're searching through their social media whatevers and searching through their followers or friend list to see how many women or men are on there that make you uncomfortable, you are immediately that victim-y version of yourself. I know victim-y is a tough word, but it's the truth. Because we're searching for something, because we're not believing the self we want to be. We're not trusting, we're not going within. The biggest mistake that I see so many people do until they learn their lesson in their own way is we rely so heavily on what our 3D is presenting. We rely so much on it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. What are we manifesting for? Because we want to experience something in the 3D. That aside. But you're always in charge of who you are. You're always in charge of that. Right? At every given second, you are I am. You are consciousness. That doesn't stop. Right? We don't put a pause on that and then go back into Kimberly or in Monica. We're always consciousness. But our awareness can get distracted by ego, by our acting role, our character, our avatar. And we can re-entangle ourselves and fall asleep again and get totally attached to what reality is showing you. Look how quickly, how easily it is to start being entangled again. Because we're relying on what the 3D is showing us. This is why I don't agree with looking at the 3D as your feedback. I don't think that's a good idea. Because the last thing you want to do is look out into 3D, experience what Monica's experiencing. Didn't get the job she interviewed for, saw something she didn't like, with her SP's the 3P. Do we want to identify with that? Oh, I am the self that's a hot mess. I feel terrible right now. I feel like everything's blowing up. No. We don't want to look into it. We want to know who we are as consciousness and choose who we want to be on our own accord. not based off of 3D. We don't want to rely on what the 3D is showing. Even when things are going good, you really don't want to get into the habit of, oh my God, yeah, okay, I must be my new self because stuff is good. Stuff is good right now. So that means I'm doing it right. Stuff is good. You're doing it right. You should know that regardless. Even if there's shit in the 3D, you're still doing it right. If you know yourself as pure, unadulterated consciousness, and you know from there you are choosing where to place your awareness, you're making the decision to be the version of yourself that has the desire. If you know you're doing that, you're doing it right. Doesn't matter what the 3D is showing. You might not just understand how what the 3D is showing you connects you to your outcome. But when we're overreading it and analyzing it to our detriment, now we don't want to align ourselves with feedback. You want to align yourself with, what do I want? Who do I want to be? Okay, this is who I am. That's what we want to do. I'm just looking to see Monica. She commented on something I commented on, like a public account. That's how I saw. Okay. Okay. So you saw that she had put your specific person's, last name or whatever. It doesn't have to mean anything. Even if they are right now together, we can say that, hey, all right, I don't like this. I can accept it. I see it. That doesn't change who I am. And the only reason why, maybe right now in this moment, you're hearing me say that and you're disagreeing with it, or you're feeling like, I want Kim to be right, but I don't feel like she is, because I know what I saw. Okay? I know what I saw. That's what my 3D showed me. So that must be the truth. No. That's your perception of it. That's your perception based off the state you're embodying. Let me just make this clear. We have all this I am talk. I am talk. I am. Just go back to your God state. All states are God states. So I think that's a confusing phrase to use. Okay. All states are God states. God has created all. Everything has been created by God. Everything, right? God, universe, whatever word you like. I think observer is a little more helpful. That's why I stick with observer. You are always experiencing reality through a state of consciousness. That's not going to change. That's how we experience. That's how we interact. And that's why it seemingly feels like we have a filter. Even when you are in the awareness of being the observer, so observing the observer, even as you're observing, where are you observing from? Where are you observing from? What are you experiencing as you're observing? I'm saying this to get you to see that your avatar isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's how we're experiencing reality. But when you're observing, that gives you the opportunity to select anything you want, any version of yourself. Every time you use the words, I am, fill in the blank. There we go. Immediate state, immediate version of yourself, immediate. And your perception should alert you when it's not favorable, when we're perceiving something in the 3D that isn't favorable, and we're allowing that to shake us. And the quickest way to get unshaken is back to the observer. Back to me, I get a visual in my mind of like literally stepping back out of the character, even though you're still there. and observing the thoughts and seeing through them. Seeing that you really aren't the thoughts. You're not the thoughts, you're not the feelings, you're not the emotions. So whatever circumstances you're having, that is what? Projected awareness, projected conscious awareness. But it's from you. So if it's from you, you must have some say on what we're experiencing. There's really nothing to ever be afraid of. And the sooner we let go of 3D, and by letting go, I just mean the gripping of it. Oh my, so I'm gonna keep it with Monica. Okay. So we're gonna pretend that these are all my circumstances. Like, oh my God, I didn't get any of the jobs I interviewed for. I didn't get any of them. Oh my God. No. No. Who are we? Consciousness. Those interviews are just a play. They're just a piece of the play, a part of the plot in this reality I'm experiencing through the avatar of Kimberly. They're just a piece. So it can't really hurt me. It can't lock me up in a box and prevent me from having the life I want. No. Okay. Well, I didn't get all 3 of them. Doesn't have to mean anything. Step back out. Do you see what I mean? Step back out. Every time that your mind is getting sucked back into what's happening in 3D reality, stop and think, what am I upset about right now? Why am I giving this so much power over me? Your mind is going to give you logical answers, and they're all going to be 3D related. They're all going to be 3D related. So therefore, they are of the senses. We're trying to get out of the land of the senses and come back to God, come back to consciousness where all the power is. And we choose again. We let go of 3D reality. If you didn't get the 3 jobs, that doesn't mean you're not going to get the job you've always wanted. It just means, okay, I'm not going to get it in this perfect straight line, but everything is still perfect because I am perfect. Right? Every version of you is within you right now. Every version. So there's the successful you, the you that got what she wanted. That exists. It has to. We wouldn't even be able to talk about it if it didn't. Nothing and no one can stop or limit consciousness. God. Nothing. What's up, Lester? Monica, do you want your specific person? Do you want that relationship with your specific person? Is it your heart's intention to be with your specific person? Of course I miss you. That's okay. Oh, dear. What do we do with an avoidant? We ask ourselves why we're even entangled with the idea of that label, an avoidant. Why are we even telling that story? Why are we agreeing with that? That's not right. Is that your observer? The observer is saying, "Oh, I believe he's an avoidant." Is that coming from your I am consciousness, or do you feel maybe that's a part of a story with the ego? The story to the avatar you, to the world of the senses. That's a label. We don't have to just immediately agree with the label unless we are enjoying it. You have to ask yourself, where does that even come from? He's an avoidant. Where'd that come from? Can't you see that every single thing you know is a story? Everything is literally, everything is a story, a condition, a belief. Literally everything. Nothing's off the table. Everything is a condition or a belief. You are not conditions and beliefs, feelings, emotions, thoughts. You are none of that. You are existence. Existence. You are beingness. You are everything before those things. See through it. See through it. And listen, if anybody is newer to conscious manifestation, I'm sure what I'm saying is sounding like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You will get there. This will begin making more sense to you. But you can come to me and ask me about a narcissist, and I'm going to say, okay, why are we agreeing with this? Why are we continuing that label? Why are we accepting this? Listen, before you even knew about conscious manifestation, people were able to spontaneously heal themselves. That kind of stuff existed. Before we even were talking about this, I'm saying, before probably you knew about manifestation, before I knew about manifestation, people were spontaneously healing themselves. Shocking doctors. Well, how did that happen? Were they just lucky? Were they just lucky? Or did they reject a label? Did they give theirself, a possibility? What if I'm not sick? Or what if I'm, and we can talk about every area, whether it's money, love, health. What if I am meant to be in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with an amazing version of my person? What if I actually can have that experience? Do you realize that's all you need to get things to start changing, is you just being open to the possibility of the what if? Dump that phrase avoidant. That's my personal opinion. It's your reality. You do what you want. Well, we don't have to listen to limits. Okay, so then Monica, we're gonna shut out the world of the senses temporarily for you to make your decision on who the hell you want to be. Who do you want to be? How do you want to feel every day? When you wake up in the morning, how do you want to feel about your life? I want you to think really clearly on what that is that you want to experience. And from that point on, and include your job area too. What is the specific job you want, or career, whatever word you want to use, the income, and anything else you're manifesting? Summarize that down to a phrase. And yes, that's possible. Make a list. And from this point on, you're going to start telling yourself that that's who you are. You're going to allow yourself to not get entangled with the stories of what seems to be appearing. And we're going to open ourselves up to the possibility of, what if I'm just reading these things wrong? What if me not getting these 3 jobs that I interviewed for? What if I end up actually getting one of those jobs anyway? What if something happens after maybe I was, I don't know what the word is, but like you were declined the job. Okay, well, what if something happens and they end up contacting you and asking if you're still interested in the position? Shit like that happens every day. Why can't that be something that happens for you? Or what if it is maybe you were settling for jobs that you really, really didn't want? I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm saying, but what if you come to the realization, I didn't even really want any of those. I really want to go over here and do this. What if this is all exactly the way it's supposed to happen? Because I bet you it is. If you had one shot, one opportunity, I don't know why, but your comment just made me immediately think of Lose Yourself by Eminem. which I like. I like that song. Yep. Please, for the love of the Goddards. I love that song. That was the goal, I think, Kim. I think so too, Summer. I think so too, and I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I cannot properly pronounce your first name, but thank you for that. That gave us a little zhuzh. That's a damn good song. I am $1 Million Month Mama. Thank you very much. I miss your beautiful face. I miss your beautiful face. I wanted to say I'm figuring more things out and I'm loving it. I've had fun things happen and hoping to share soon. Love and miss you all. Well, we love and miss you too, and I look forward to hearing. It's a damn good song, my friend. Yes, it is. I look forward to hearing it, BFF. The first couple of times I saw her username in my very early days when the channel first started, I'm like, I am $1 Million Month Mama. There's so much to say. I'm just going to call her BFF. Halama 76. Hey, Kim. How do I manifest social anxiety away? It's difficult living with it. I want to live normally, but the feeling in my body is so intense. Thanks. Okay. Funny how we were talking about spontaneous healing just a few moments ago. Definitely not a coincidence. So, as I hope you're aware, I'm not trying to invalidate what you've been living with at all. But if you would start to bring your focus, this isn't, you don't have to pretend that you're not having the feelings that you're feeling, right? The sensations, the stress, and then I'm sure once those feelings start coming in the body, the thoughts follow. This isn't something that you have to chase those thoughts away or chase the feelings away. I'm just saying at minimum, if, let's say you're having, we can call it a moment or an episode, and you're noticing that the feelings, the sensations are coming in, and you're, like I said, the thoughts are following, in those moments, see if you can start talking to yourself up here. Start recognizing what's happening. Okay, I'm feeling it. We can say, I'm feeling the anxiety. I'm feeling it. Okay. Is this really me experiencing the anxiety? Is it really me? Or is it my avatar? My character? My acting gig? Right? My acting gig is Kimberly. Everybody else's usernames. That's everybody's individual acting roles or jobs. Is it the acting gig experiencing it or my true conscious awareness? This is just getting you in the habit of exercising the mental muscles of observing, and observing for the purpose to notice that social anxiety is a part of your character. It's a part of your avatar. It's a part of a version of yourself. Now, I don't mean you have to immediately start putting yourself in situations you're not comfortable with. And I'm not telling you that you have to pretend that you don't have it or be upset when you notice you're feeling it. We're just moving the mental muscles of getting you to observe. And again, I always get the visual. When I say observe the observer, my mental visual is I see what I think is me as my own conscious awareness, kind of moving away from my reality bubble and stepping out of this, the meat sack. So I can separate and observe. And it's like observing, just like you would observe, the birds around your yard. You're observing yourself. in here, obviously. You're observing it. You're observing that all the little intricacies, all the little nuances that we believe so inherently about our physical body and about the stories and the beliefs and the conditions and the life experiences that are all connected to what up until you figured out that you can consciously manifest, that you thought that were just the baggage that were attached to you without a choice. And as you build up those muscles of kind of separating, you're not really separating, but I'm hoping you're understanding the visual and I'm not making it more confusing, that you are not stuck with that social anxiety. It's connected to the character, to your acting gig, to the meat sack. So the more we observe, the more we see it's not truly our true self as awareness, and we open ourselves up to the possibility of moving that awareness, of starting to consider a part of that character or a new version of that character who no longer has social anxiety, who feels comfortable, who feels at peace, feels calm, or whatever words feel good to you. We start focusing over there. What if it is possible that you could be totally free from it? What if you could be completely free and get excited and, enjoy your life, enjoy in social situations? What if? What do you think it would feel like to feel calm and relaxed? It also might be helpful is to also think of the words calm, relaxed, anxious, and noticing the difference in how your body responds to the words. That you don't have to do to manifest. That I'm just showing you as an exercise to show you how there's choice in what we keep reattaching ourselves from. And in imagination, we can imagine ourselves as any version. You can imagine the word calm and experience what that feels like. You can imagine the word relaxed, and you can imagine feeling the sensations of what that would feel like to you. There is nothing off limits. So the more you build the muscles of kind of separating from this one version of yourself, the more natural, the more believable, the more open to the possibility that you can be free from it, the more likely that will manifest in your reality. Nothing off limits. Nothing. I'm hoping that made sense to you. All right. Limitless Queen Batch. Thank you very much. Just wanted to send some love. Oh, I'm sending it right back. Things are going great, and I'm feeling so much better, not depressed anymore. I am very happy to hear this. So many BBLs for SP and started my own business that I know is already successful. Oh my God, congratulations. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Well done, my friend. Well done. Man, Nicole, I'm so proud of you. Oh, here she is. Here she is. Oh my God, is that a crab? Why do crab never volunteer? Because they're shellfish. Like selfish, Friggin' dad jokes. You are something else. I love how you just conveniently slipped that in there. I thought I was free from dad jokes. Observer mode is currently my best friend. That along with no longer forcing the 3D. Well done to you, 22 Leone. Well done. You continue. I'm going to say the word practice, but that just sounds weird to me, but I can't think of another word. Practicing your observer mode, and you see how it will start to come naturally. You'll start to go right into observer mode without forcing yourself or, trying to conjure your way there or quiet your mind there. It'll come naturally. And the beauty of it is you can even be experiencing, I don't know, a stressful situation, having an argument. Not that I'm wishing anybody to go through these things, but you will find that even in what probably in the past was a situation that, that stress, the anxiety would start really kicking in, where you really slip back in to a version of yourself, into our avatar, and start, chipping away in 3D, you'll notice that your mind will actively bring you into that mode. I know that sounds weird, but it will. And maybe, I don't know if this is just an ADHD thing in my mind, but I've said before, I can be having a conversation with someone, but I can kind of split off. And it's like going in my own little private room in my mind, but keeping the conversation still going and being able to continue the conversation and be involved in the conversation while at the same time kind of splitting off. And the splitting off, I mean, like that me stepping out of the reality bubble that I use a lot. It's kind of like that, which I think is for me, I love it. I think it's a bonus, a benefit. And I feel, hand over my heart, has in countless examples of, dare I say, winning an argument, but not winning in a negative way, but getting it to stop and there be an amicable ending. I don't know how else to word it without it sounding like I'm just a bitch trying to get her own way. Because maybe I am that a little bit. But you got what I'm saying. It has helped me more than I can't even tell you. He's upstairs, so I don't want to tell him too much. Hope he's not watching this live. There's been times where we've had little spats, and it naturally, boom, 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 starts the split off. And, I observe while carrying on that conversation. And it always tends to go in my direction, the way I want it to. But I own that while that observing comes in naturally, the reminder, or where you've heard me say, return to that decision, where I do actively, once I've split off and observed, I then return to my decision. That is just meaning what I am, and then I fill in the blank. I make my choice over what self I am in it. Always, I can't tell you. I know I've made videos on it, and I probably talk about it too much, but I cannot tell you how many times it has flipped the scenario on its head. And the argument could have been looking like, oh my God, this is going to be a doozy, or I'm not going to get what I want of this one. I can't tell you how many times. Now, I will tell you that any time that I haven't returned to my decision and got myself all re-entangled in the 3D, those don't usually go the way I want. So I've learned a lesson. I've learned a couple lessons. Get what I mean? Doesn't mean it always feels good. Just because I've returned to my decision, that doesn't always mean I immediately feel better. But the beauty of knowing we are not the feelings and the emotions. We're not those things. It's the body experiencing. It's the avatar. I don't know. Conflict resolution repair. That was a good one. Yes, I agree. It calms the currents of my wayward thoughts. It does. And I believe it's because it's supposed to. Because how can you not be as the observer? How can it not? That is the beauty of it. And I know, I'll say, when I first started, when I finally understood what Neville was saying, there were times where I just didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear that, but yet I knew it was right. And I knew it was what I should do. But maybe I was too attached to what was happening in the 3D, so I couldn't focus. And by couldn't, I mean I was willfully choosing not to. I look back at moments like that, I'm like, I knew that I needed to start practicing that, give that a shot. I knew. That's why I believe, and I don't know if you've noticed this for yourself, but there is always that still small voice. It's always there. There's been times in my life that I didn't listen to it, but it's always there. That connection never leaves. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. It's God. It's consciousness. It's always there. And for those of you that aren't in the place of believing that you are God, okay, then God is within you, and that is still the still small voice. How about that? If that is that easier to accept. But it's always there. So you're never doing this alone. For those of you who think of God as just being within versus you are God. You're not doing this alone, ever. So I really mean it genuinely when I say there really is nothing to be afraid of in 3D reality. Like, so whatever it is anybody's manifesting, there really isn't anything to be afraid of. You won't be denied your heart's desire. And the only reason why you fear that you may is because of what? A story, maybe a past experience but what is that equated into? A story, a condition, a belief. But no belief can not be changed. No belief, no condition, no matter what the limit is. I don't know. I'm rambling. Miss Dana DiLorenzo, thank you very much. Beautiful Kim, I'm also on vacation Friday. Oh, lovely. I think my friend actually stayed at the Hawthorne too. At any rate, I am working on what we discussed Friday and also changing my story around things needing to change before things can come in. Miss Dana, that is such a good point. I love that you just brought that up, okay? I'm also working on changing my story around things needing to change before things can come in for me. Good. Good. To anybody else, ask yourself, are you someone that is manifesting a specific person, manifesting a lump sum of money, or just a new job for new income, changes in appearance? Are any of you all manifesting those things? Do you believe that certain things, certain events have to happen before you can have your desire? Ask yourself honestly, especially if you are someone that is not very happy with what your 3D reality looks like. Ask yourself that question, because there is a good chance that maybe you have that belief. And don't panic if you do. It just means, okay, new decision. Now we know better. Now we can, trust source. We can trust ourselves as source. Yes? No? Ask yourself that. Dana, well done. Well done, and well done on making a new decision for yourself. I can tell you, I believe maybe, definitely over 3 years ago, I made a video. Of course, I don't remember what I titled it, but it was like, 5, I don't know if it was 5, could have been 3, like 3 or 5 things that could be the reason why your manifestation isn't here yet. Some video like that. And that was one of the things I said. Are you keeping it away from yourself? Is what you're believing about your manifestation of how it can come to you, are you limiting your own self? It's kind of funny and probably not a coincidence, right? Because I don't believe in coincidences. But of course, in one of my calls today, we had a conversation about, how a specific person manifestation can come when the person manifesting has an expectation that it'll come through a text or a call. That will be the reconnecting moment when that text or call comes in. And if you've watched any of my content, I hope my opinion on that is no. Why would we limit the reconnection of you and your specific person to a text or call? You could run into your person somewhere. Why limit it? They could show up at your door. Don't limit that. So I'm going to use the example that somebody has the belief that they have to message me, and they have to message me through Instagram because that's where, he and I always chit-chatted. And you open up your Instagram every day, you don't see you got any messages, so you're walking around thinking, oh, it still hasn't contacted me yet, so it's still not here yet, still hasn't happened yet. But you've got yourself so stuck on that's how specific person can contact me, because that's the only way specific person can contact me, because maybe, you never had each other's phone numbers. No, that's you deciding that as source, as I am awareness. You're selecting that. And pretty good chance that you're like squeezing the hose, like a hose outside in the yard. You want that water to free flow, right? We want the water, I was going to say spurting everywhere. But if you ever had anybody while you're using your hose step on it and it makes it trickle down to just a couple of drips, that's what you're doing to yourself when you think that there's only one way something can come to you. So the best thing you can do is let go completely. Get off the hose. Stop stepping on the hose. Get off of it. Let it flow. Let 3D reality flow. Another way of saying that is allow. Allow the 3D. Look at everything you experience as it's to your benefit. Even things you're not liking, even not getting one of the jobs of the jobs you interviewed for, not getting them, somehow to your benefit. Somehow you're still going to get what you want. It doesn't mean you're going to immediately feel good, and it's okay if you don't. You're not your feelings. Your feelings aren't stopping you. This is why we don't worry about emotionally reacting to 3D. We don't worry about it anymore. We stop judging ourselves for it. We get out of labeling ourselves as bad manifestors. We get back to observer instead. This is why we do that. Because we're going to allow 3D. Every single thing you experience is to your benefit. And in some shit-ass way, even shit circumstances are to your benefit. Might not make sense while you're in the middle of living it. Might not make sense at all. Maybe it's the complete opposite, right? Maybe it's, seeing the third party pop up again, so that feels like it's the opposite. Somehow, some way, it's to your benefit. Something is happening in your reality to your benefit to give you the desire. So even a shit circumstance, maybe the shit circumstance is the circumstance that wakes you up to realize that you've been walking around with a limiting belief and not knowing that you are attaching yourself to it every single day. And maybe this is what it took to get you to wake up and see yourself as source, limitless, flawless source. Can't be stopped, won't be stopped. Source. That's who you are. See what I mean? So well done, Miss Dana. No matter what is currently going on, somehow it's all working out for me. Yes, yes, yes. Mic drop. We don't know what needs to move to bring us our manifestation, but if 50 things need to go move, they'll move. Yes. Kim is giving pure gold right now. Trust me. I just love you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. But it's the truth. Now, I will tell you, when I first found my manifestation, I wouldn't have been saying all the things I just said. No. Let me say this too. I'm hoping that if you've been watching me for any sort of time, that you've noticed that when I record rampages, and y'all know I love rampages, and they have been my thing since day one, okay? The sass, the demanding, look at all my old videos. I've been the rampage queen for a while. I still love them, so they're not going anywhere. My point, though, do you notice my wording in those rampages? Do you hear me say, you're going to text me every single day at this time? That's going to happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say you can't love a text message or you can't manifest a text. I'm not trying to tell you that. I'm saying, do you notice, though, that I don't say things like that? I'll say something general, like constant contact. Do you know why? Because the biggest fucking lesson that I believe I lived through was because I was so attached to just getting that text message, to getting my morning text. Had to have that morning text. If I didn't get that morning text, that means he didn't love me. That was me. If I didn't get that text, my entire day was ruined. I can make jokes about it now with you guys because I love laughing at myself. But while I was living it, no, I was dead serious. That would ruin my entire day. I could not function because that text didn't come, because that means he didn't love me. That meant I was losing my relationship, which then meant I was going to be alone for the rest of my life. That's where my stream of thought would go. Cuckoo. Okay? So that was me. So what was I doing? I was always squeezing. I was stepping on the hose. I was squeezing reality. I was like, as if I was having a conversation with God. I was saying, or the universe, I want a text message every single morning. And this is something you must do. This must happen this way. So I don't think I have my manifestation. I don't think he loves me unless this happens. Universe, God, he must text, and he must text the exact words every single day. That is the only way I can feel safe and secure that my manifestation is working. That's really what I was saying. Do you hear the fuckery in that? I'm hoping. I don't talk like that anymore. I don't think like that anymore. I'm not trying to say we can't have specific desires. I mean, hello. I think I'm pretty clear that you can manifest anything you want. I'm pretty clear on that. And you can. But with that manifesting everything specifically, blah, 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 do you notice? I don't try to limit my 3D. And I do my best. I'm not perfect. I'm still experiencing reality through my avatar. I try my best to not try to control. And by control, I mean controlling every single individual experience. I try not to anymore. I try to step away from that because I know that when I'm going into I need to control mode, I know the truth. The truth is I'm moving into a victim version of myself who's believing more of the 3D than turning inward or going to the observer. That's the truth. When we're panicking, when we're losing our shit, when we think, oh my God, I have to have that text. I just want to manifest that text. Well, your person could text you and they could text you one of these. There you go. You manifested your text. That's why I don't talk that way. Try not to. Because the less we try to control how things unfold, in my personal opinion, the more comfortable the journey can be. And the less we're gripping reality, I know this is daring, but I'm just going to say it. I feel the faster it comes in. Now, I didn't say what that equates to, what linear time that equates to, but from my experience, the more I've let go of reality, the faster things seem to turn around. Or at minimum, some kind of movement happens. Because you stopped gripping. You stopped getting in the way. And think about it. When you're trying to get in the way, who are you getting in the way as? What version of yourself? It ain't the version of you who believes you got it. It's not the version of you that comfortably knows that manifestation is yours. No, it's the version of you who is shitting themselves that they're afraid they're not going to get what they want. Truthfully. And that's another thing is you have to be willing to be authentic because you can't outrun yourself. Do you know what I mean? You can't bullshit a bullshitter. So when you know you're really doing certain actions, and you know you're doing those actions out of fear, I would say hold back on the action for a minute and take a look at observing, why am I doing this? Why, when I didn't get my text messages, did I then send multiple text messages just to get him to respond to me? Why did I do that? Because I was trying to make sure he was still there, that he wasn't leaving me. Is that the version of me who's got the relationship? No, that's the version of me who is deathly afraid of losing it because she doesn't think she's good enough to keep it. See what I'm saying? Is that who I want to keep showing up as? Hell to the no. No. It was an uncomfortable, bumpy ass ride. It was miserable for the beginning. To be honest, I would have random happy moments, but most of it was fucking miserable because I wasn't changing. I was speaking in awareness terms. My awareness was always fixated on the version of me who was afraid of not having it, who was afraid of losing it, who was terrified of being alone the rest of her life, and who was very much staring at the clock and terrified that this was going to take forever. But see, being that version of me, it was never going to get better. Because I wasn't. I was not choosing a more beneficial version of myself. I wasn't. I was solely focused on what isn't working, what's not here yet. It sucked. It sucked. So the sooner I let go, and the more I brought, and again, as I'm saying, I moved my awareness to the self I wanted to be. Keep in mind, we're talking over chunks of time of me evolving and growing, and my understanding of consciousness was growing. So this wasn't like this happened on Monday and I was the new version of myself by Friday. I had some growth here, but regardless. You keep the focus on you. Easy way to do that is observing. Observe the observer. Or as Vadim Zeland says, the keeper, being the keeper of the mind, so that you see through the stories you have. So you see through things. Well, use me as the example on that. So my story was the thing with the text messages, the good morning text messages. If I didn't get the text messages, we all remember, that meant that he didn't love me anymore, which then meant that I was losing my relationship, which then meant I was going to be alone the rest of my life. Okay? That was my thinking. Observing the observer. Why do I think this text message equates, or the lack of the text message equates to I'm going to be alone the rest of my life? Why do I think that? Why do I think a lack of a text message means I'm losing the relationship, or he doesn't love me anymore? Why do I think that? If somebody else had asked me, oh my God, what am I going to do? I didn't get my good morning text. I would look at that person like, are you out of your damn mind? Why does that even matter? Right? But for myself, no, it meant it was the end of the world. Because I had to start asking myself those questions. Why do I believe no good morning message means I'm going to be alone the rest of my life? So then I would try to outsmart myself by saying, okay, well, maybe it doesn't mean I'm not going to be alone the rest of my life, but this also means, though, I'm possibly losing the relationship, and I don't want to have to go through the pain of losing the relationship. I don't want that to happen. So I would make excuses, is what I'm trying to say. I'd come up with another excuse, another angle to keep that story going until I saw through it, realized, oh my God, okay, maybe I had a relationship or two where I had the experience of when the relationship finally ended, that was one of the behaviors of a previous boyfriend or two. Not the guy I'm with, previous. So I'm comparing my past experiences to this experience. My previous relationships were experienced by a completely different version of myself. I'm totally not the same girl. So how do those line up? Well, they don't. They don't fucking line up. They don't make sense. You can't compare, apples and oranges, right? All I'm saying is when you're observing, you see through the bullshit stories or baggage that you keep carrying along with you and holding that against you is what I'm trying to say. Simply quiet the mind and listen/watch as the thoughts come in. And I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised by some of the beliefs or stories that you have surrounding what you're manifesting. I didn't immediately understand that I was comparing that text message to that equating to I'm going to be alone the rest of my life, right? I had to observe to come to that. And again, this is not to say that you got to go digging through all your life experiences. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you're feeling frustrated, who's frustrated? A version of yourself? Because it's not the observer. It's not the I am. The I am is what? The I am knows it's perfect, flawless, limitless. It's definitely a story connected to the avatar. So question the stories. Why do I think that? Why do I think, this means I'm going to be alone the rest of my life because SP canceled a date? That's a bit of a stretch. Where did that come from? Why did I even think that? And the more you see some of the limits and some of the silly things that we've given meanings to, the more you see through the veil of the illusion of 3D reality. I mean, we could go on a whole nother, void or black hole of different topics, but the more you're awake, the more you're going to see everything you know is a condition and can be changed. A condition/a belief. And it all can be changed with your willingness to observe. Observe the observer. Observe the mind. It can change your life, I'm telling you. All right, let's see. Keisa, thank you very much. Hello, deliciousness. Manifested weight loss, 20 pounds down. More to go, thinking I have, is it Rhea or Ray? Ray or Rhea, Ripley physique. I don't know who that is. I'm sure I'm supposed to, and I just don't know. But I'm imagining that this Rhea Ripley must be very, very stunningly amazing. Now struggling with deliciousness that should be with me right now since it's someone I don't know. So you're saying, oh man, first of all, Kisa, I have missed you. I love, she is the creator of deliciousness, by the way. Very quickly, I have autism. Can I still do it? You bet your ass you can. Yes, 100 million trillion times. Yes. Yes. ADD, ADHD, autism, any other mind label, you can manifest without question. Without question. Yes, 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 yes. Okay? Yes. Anyone with a label, any of us that have been told maybe we're on the spectrum, any label. I'm not trying to invalidate anybody's label or diagnosis. I'm not trying to take away from you. I'm trying to say that your mind was, we'll say, created a certain type of way, and it was created for a certain reason, for it to be the way it is. Like me, I have ADHD. So my mind was made, this physical meat sack mind, I'm talking just up here, just our meat sack brain, not consciousness mind, was made this way, not by, not by a coincidence and not by a mistake. Okay? Not by a mistake. We are born. So we come to planet Earth with the instructions and with the ability to manifest. And you mentioning that you have autism, I just want to say what a perfect example or a perfect time to remind people that is why there are so many different techniques out there. Why do you think that is? Because people are all different. We all got our own intricacies, our own nuances, labels, diagnoses. We all are different. But we are all the one consciousness. Every single one of us, no one is left out, right? This is all inclusive, one consciousness. So your mind is already prepared and has been manifesting all along, maybe unconsciously, but now you're conscious because now you're awake to it. And again, that's why there's so many different techniques, because we got a technique for everyone. There is a way to manifest for everyone. So you're allowed to like certain techniques and you're allowed to not like other techniques. There is something out there to get you to see, this is who I have been. This is who I want to be. So the goal is to move the awareness over to the who I want to be. And we're going to remind ourselves that we are that self every single day in whatever technique feels good to you as reality rearranges itself around you. Just wanted to say that. Okay. All right. So Kisa, first of all, absolutely congratulations. I am so happy for you. Well done on the weight loss, girl. And I'm sure you look absolutely stunningly perfect. Stunningly perfect. So well done. Now, struggling with deliciousness. This should be with me right now since it's someone I don't know. All right, it's someone you don't know. So are you telling me that you're manifesting a new love? You're allowing someone new to come into the picture? Yes, Carla Shirley. I meant what I said. I meant what I said. There's nothing off the table. Absolutely everyone. Is Kiisa still here? I'm thinking that Kiisa is, I'm just going to assume she's saying that it's new love, brand new love. So don't tell the story that you don't have what you want. You see? I'm struggling. You are? Is that what you're agreeing with? Is that what you are? I am struggling. Okay, struggling. There you go. Let me give you some more evidence that you're struggling. We are not struggling. Let's reframe that. We are enjoying our time, spending time with ourselves, because we know this is the version of ourselves that will be in a relationship. That's who I am. Reframe that. We are not struggling. Okay, it's Celebrity SP, and thank you, Queen Kim. You are welcome, beautiful friend. Okay. So you do know who it is. You're saying that they don't know you. Okay, now I get it. Really, nothing has changed, though. Nothing's changed in what I said. Are you putting them up on that celebrity pedestal? Are they so high and out of reach? Are they a special manifestation because they're a celebrity? Sorry, you can all hear Poop barking. She's upstairs with my boyfriend. Hello to you, Julio. Hello, Monera. Is it? Poop is vocal. Like her mommy. Manifesting is witchcraft. Okay? Okay. We don't call it witchcraft? Is it witchcraft? Oh my God. Please. First of all, I love the witchy vibe. So I don't find that offensive at all. I love a witchy vibe. Okay? Bring me the witchy vibe all day long, every day. It's fun. I love Halloween. I love the whole deal. I'm just saying, granted, not all witches equate to Halloween and not all witchcraft is Halloween, but I just go straight to like hocus pocus, fun, childlike, witchy stuff. That's my thing. So no offense to other witches out there if you don't practice any of those things. But manifesting is witchcraft. Manifesting is everything now, isn't it? Because consciousness is everything, all there is. Okay? But I'm assuming your comment is coming from a place of, well, you probably believe in some separate God, don't you? So everything outside of your separate beliefs about God is bad. It's witchcraft. And it's silliness because you still believe in a God that is outside of you. Might want to rethink that. Witches arise. That's right. You know, that same outside God, you know, also I thought said you should love thy neighbor and, I don't know, be kind to others instead of coming in with full-on judgment. Isn't that kind of the opposite message from God? Let's bully. Let's leave negative comments because somebody is open to believing something other than what you believe. Right? Keep us all in line. That's what my dog thinks about that too. Huh, Poop, let him know. Jesus says, act as you've received and it is yours. So I guess, are you saying Jesus is spitting out witchcraft vibes? Huh? Silly. And you subscribe to the channel just to be able to say a shit comment. A judgy comment. Were you setting us all right? Is that what you're doing? You're setting us all right? The wizard is casting a spell on all of us so we get exactly what we desire. I'm with you. I started working on a full path for recognizing multi-theist, am I saying it right? Theistic God's and the concept of law of assumption. It's interesting. It is interesting. Hey. I personally, I don't care. I don't care what you believe. I mean that in a good way, meaning I am open to hearing about all. I'm open to all of it. So I would be interested in hearing what you're discovering and how that is impacting, I mean, good or bad in your journey. I'm assuming you're going to say all good, though, because I know you're thinking only lovely thoughts for yourself. But I'd be interested in hearing more. I believe in the power of Abdullah's door. Yeah, you are in Barbados. Can I say I am the fashion of myself that gets what I am, because I get stressed with all this techniques and it stresses me out. You know why, Carrie? Because let me just tell you. It's because you don't need all the techniques. They ain't manifesting for you. They aren't. What's manifesting is your awareness. So if it feels easier for you to say, I'm going to read what you wrote again. That's what I am the fashion of myself. I like to say the version of myself. And actually, another, when I made my list, because there's so many things I want to manifest. They're all different things, right? I don't want to have to worry about saying every single thing every single day. And maybe I don't want to think about every single intricacy of things I want to manifest every single day. Let me write it down and call it my new self list. So that when I am choosing who I am, right? From awareness, from the I am. Sounds like I'm saying a tongue twister. I am the I am. I am that I am. But I am the version of self who is in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I am my new self. I would know immediately what new self meant from my list. And there were times where I'd even get the flash of my list. Making fun of me. My boyfriend's over here making jokes of how I use my hands to talk. But yes, you can, Carrie Ann Baker. Yes, you can. Sounds to me like you were led here today to put that comment there, for me to read it, for me to answer it, to free you from thinking you have to do a million different techniques. See, that's not, I don't believe in coincidences. Neither does my dog. I don't believe in coincidences. I think everything is a part of the unfolding of you getting your desires. So look at that orchestration. Look how that unfolded. And this might be popular, but I don't really think you're manifesting anything. You're just shifting. No. I agree with you. I think that manifesting was the term selected to simply, what's the right word? To simply mean that you're no longer not seeing whatever it is you're manifesting. Meaning, I believe that everything exists. I believe that the Bible has said, right, creation is finished. I believe that. I accept that. So creation is finished, right? Everything is out here in the absolute, or the infinite potential, infinite field, quantum field. Everything's there. Because we as conscious awareness or consciousness with our awareness highlights a version of ourself at a time, one at a time, right? Or a state of consciousness, which is our filter that we experience reality, we see it through, right? I believe, like, say, for example, let's say the version of me who believes she's not in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, right? This is the version of me who believes she's single. So the filter changes. And so, my specific person goes, poof, can't see him anymore, because that's not the version of self I am. So I don't see those things in reality. And we don't have to say he's literally poof, But anything in reality that would look like a connection, a synchronicity, you know, a sign, poof, I no longer can see them because I am that version of myself, right? Our states of consciousness, each single, you know, every single one has their own sets of beliefs and experiences, the filter, you know, or what science says, the reticular activating system. So then I move to the version of myself that is in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Filter change, and now I can see things that indicate that's who I am. But they were always there. But our state filters them out, right? I think that's what you were saying, because I totally agree with that. Thank you so much, Carrie Ann Baker. Subscribe to her. She is amazing. I hope you're talking about me. Right? Yes, she's actually called Poop, but no, that is not her actual, like, official registered name. Her actual name is Trinity from the Matrix. Yeah, she's Trinity. But when she was a puppy, you know, she was a little cute little thing, so I would call her Poopsie. You little Poopsie. And that became Poop. And now that's all she answers. Just Poop. I know. It's not because I really think she's shit. Would you say?
Or do you want a treat?
or do you want a treat? She'll come to that too. Her ears just went up. Oh, awesome, Lisa. See? We were perfectly reflecting each other. She is the shit, though. That's right. I remember first hearing that my SP's daughter has the same name, and I knew you were the only coach for me. I love you, Raven. I love your sass. Hello, beautiful Kimberly and Poops. Well, hello to you, Teresa. I'm glad you appreciate the sass. I'm glad you appreciate it. They're saying hi to you. To you. Hi. I don't know if you can hear him. I got the fan on. Carrie, you're from the UK? Oh my God. Where? So exciting to me. I will visit there someday. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Mr. Kim. Yeah. I love everything you are saying. Thank you so much, Amber Renee. I'm glad. Poop does too. She got a new toy today, so it's all the rage. Huh.
I'm the fun one.
Did you hear him? He said, because I'm the fun one. Because he's the one that always comes home with new toys for her. So she does see us that way. I'm the disciplinarian, and he's the fun one. Huh. What discipline? Let's just be honest. She runs this house.
She barks in the middle of the night. There's discipline.
Road trip to the UK, getting passport as an affirmation. Love it, Babs. I'm down. We should do one. Not yet, Brittany Brooks. But I'm working on that. Kim, I want to talk to you soon. How do I get on the short list? I love you, Raven. If I had an actual short list, I would put you right at the damn top. I would. I'm doing a Quentin Tarantino-inspired TikTok video edit right now. While my reality merged with a new job and my SP shows up, therefore shifting timelines right now because I said so. That's my girl right there. And listen, Ziomera, I see your videos. I think they're exciting. Just so you know. I'm not a stalker or anything. I'm just saying I've seen your videos. not trying to be creepy. Just seen the videos. If I am God, why don't I have what I want? There is no reason for me to now have what I want. Okay. At every given moment, you are in fulfillment. Now, a logical person might hear that and say, well, no, I don't. So we'll use an example of, let's say you're manifesting a relationship. You're manifesting a specific person, or you're manifesting money, either one. So when you hear fulfillment, we think of the wish fulfilled. So if I'm in fulfillment, then I would have my SP. I would have my money, right? I'd be in the wish fulfilled. I'd have it. I don't have it, right? That's what a logical person would say. So when I say you're at every given moment, you're in fulfillment, it's fulfillment of what? Of the awareness, or we can say the state of consciousness you're viewing reality through, or perceiving reality. So if you look out at reality and you're saying, I don't have what I want. It's not here yet. It hasn't manifested yet. And that's how I perceive reality. It's still not here. I don't have what I want. You are in fulfillment of that version of yourself. That's a state of consciousness, right? You are aware of being the version of yourself that doesn't have it, which, hear me out, I know that can be very, very frustrating because reality out here is very solid. It appears very real. And if we're looking at something as in like black or white, well, I don't have it. The money's not here. The specific person is not here. You know, I still got to go to work every day, or I'm still single. That's my reality. That's what's real. And I'm still going to come back at you with, no, that's what you believe so inherently. So that is the filter that you see reality through. And that's what has to change. We have to transcend the state. You have to want what you want. And this does sound a little shitty, but just hear me out. You have to want what you want more than wanting to stay in conviction of something that you want to be no longer true. As in, you want it to be here. You want what you want. How do we transcend it? How do we stop agreeing with, I don't have it yet? How am I supposed to just believe that I have what I want when I don't think I have what I want? You get your grip off reality, meaning your actual hands. Get the hands off reality and open yourself up to the possibility that maybe you just don't understand why reality might appear the way it is right now in this moment, but you're willing to surrender the grip. You're willing to surrender what you're experiencing and accept or own, maybe I don't know the most perfect, the most effortless way. Or maybe I don't understand how what I'm living right now is leading me to my outcome. Maybe I really don't know. Maybe there really is a bigger orchestration at play. Now, I'm wording it that way because, listen, when we feel completely resistive, when we feel we're in conviction, like, bitch, I don't have what I want. I can clearly see I don't have it. When we feel so strongly, so passionate about that, we're in complete conviction. Well, we want brazen impudence, though. We want to be in conviction that you can have. And to me, that's the little jump between having, like becoming versus having. It's a little like step stool so that you can get yourself to the place where you accept you aren't your feelings and emotions, and that having feelings and emotions and thoughts aren't really limiting you. So I know it can be frustrating. It used to frustrate the shit out of me. However, when I look back, I can clearly see, no, I was very much in conviction that nothing was changing. That was my truth. That's how I really viewed reality. That's the view that has to change. So open yourself up to the possibility. Like I said, this isn't you having to force feed yourself that I have my manifestation, even though secretly I don't believe I do. So we don't got to go there, right? Go to the least resistive first. Go to the least resistive place. Okay, I surrender my 3D. I don't understand why I don't see things that I think I should see, but I'm open and willing to admit and to accept that maybe there is a better way and that I just don't know what the better way is. But maybe it's possible that things are actually working out for me and leading me to my outcome. What if that is true? Am I open to the possibility? And walk your way there. Now, I'm just thinking as I'm talking to you that maybe you meant that all the way to the other side of the spectrum. And you're saying, if I'm God, why can't I just have what I want? Why do I even have to go through all this crap? Why can't I just say, hey, I'm a multimillionaire. Boom, I'm God. So a multimillion should be right here. I don't disagree with you. And quite frankly, you can. You can do that. But you wouldn't ask that question if you really believed it and if you were in that awareness. That question wouldn't even enter your mind, or if it did, it would come from a different place. It would come from, I'm God, I'm having this. And you would have an internal knowing that it is yours and that everything you're experiencing is evidence of you having it. See what I mean? I am the fashion of self that gets what I have. I have a dog. I can't spell it. I'm sorry. That's all right. That's all right. Yes, Dana. Yes, that was SP walking by the window in his orange shirt. He's grilling dinner. Oops. I get paid to exist. Ooh, I like that. What's up, HK? Ron to see. Hi, Kim. Thank you for all your help. I realized this past weekend that it's almost been a year since my SP reached out. Could you help with a zhuzh? Of course I could. So when you realized that, how did that make you feel? I'm assuming I'm trying to put myself in your place. And if I recognized that or noticed that, I know me, I'd immediately be pulled out. And I would get into my feelings and my thoughts would be there and my old self would start questioning reality. And just like I just said to the person before, I don't want you to suffer. And I don't want you to feel like you're suffering. Poop doesn't clearly want you to suffer either. What is your belief surrounding your specific person? How do you feel when you even think about your specific person? It's clear that Poop wants some attention. Yeah, she wants all the attention. She wants everybody to be focused on her. Can I show him your chicken, or are you going to get mad at me? I'll give it right back. Yes.
More concerned on the treats right now.
Yeah. See, Poop, they're saying all nice things about you. They want to see you. You want to say hi? Can you come here and say hi? Do you want to say hi? She's like, bitch, I ain't moving. I ain't moving. Let me see if I can. Hold on, I got this. Hold on. Poop, you say hi? I don't know how to, I can't reach. Here. There she is. already moved it back. I thought you were putting your hand in to say hi because they'd probably like to see that too. Why don't you
No, I was
wave?
trying to get her to look at the camera.
I know. Okay, I actually remembered good times we had and how I desire to have more. Okay. I think that's really good that that's where your mind went. Really good. Now, when you observe what you're thinking, believing about the relationship, how you want it to look, how you want to feel about it, when you observe it, is there anything that comes up, any fears at all, any stories, any doubts, any fears that he won't come in? This only reason why I'm asking you that is because, okay, so you noticed it's been that long, which, listen, I didn't want to go 10 minutes without hearing from mine, so I understand. Do you feel that that is the main way that he's going to come in, that you two are going to connect? Because what if it's not that way? What if it's not a text at all or call? Or even like if you guys are together on social media somewhere, what if it's not going to be that way? What if he comes in a totally different way? I've had some fears. Okay. So whatever they are, where do you go with them? Meaning, can you see where they came from? What version of you were? That's what I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm tripping over my own words. Can you see where, whatever the fears are, where they came from? Is it from experiences you've had with him, or is it part of an old story that we can happily say came from an old version of you so that we can surrender them now? And also asking yourself, how can I know myself as God, as source, as consciousness? Hey, can you hold on for 1 second? How can I know myself as source and transcend this fear? Let this fear go. How can I do that? Now I'm saying you ask yourself that question and let your consciousness answer you. Because it will. And I already know that you know it will. Whenever we feel, I don't even like using the word stuck. I know you don't like word, because I remember our conversation today in the membership group. I don't like the word stuck. But when we feel like just reality isn't changing, reality isn't moved in a way that we prefer, and we feel we've done everything that, you've ever heard to do. You've done it all. You know God is within you. I remember that's how you worded it today. So you know what your consciousness is. You are very well versed in manifestation. So when we feel like, what else can I do? In my, heart of hearts, it's nothing. There's nothing more to do other than surrender it completely. That doesn't mean give up. Surrender it completely. Know yourself as the self that has nothing left to do. I've done enough. I've done enough because I know who I am. Right? I've done enough. I don't need another technique. I don't need another day of trying to bring this person in. No. So how can I know myself as source? How can I know myself as source and transcend the fear or the experience or the belief that I'm not seeing what I prefer? How can I move past this and see clearly that everything is going exactly the way it's supposed to? And an answer will come to you. Because it's not because you can't have them. It's not because you can't have that relationship. I know you already know that, but for anybody else listening, because maybe they have a similar situation, it's not because you can't have the manifestation. And it's not because you're meant to suffer with even more time. So how can I know myself as God? How can I do it? How can I see that? And again, when I say how can I do it, I don't mean the avatar you doing something to know yourself as God. I'm saying the answer, the download will come naturally to you so that you can completely surrender that manifestation. And I'm wording it that way simply to mean so you can move past it and know yourself as the self that has it. That's what I mean. So anybody else listening, if you're new to my channel and you hear me say move past it or surrender the manifestation, that doesn't mean give up. And I mean move past a version of yourself. Have you seen LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow? He's giving manifestation advice on TikTok now. The man who taught us to use our imaginations as little kids. I think I have. And I couldn't figure out why I knew him. Yes, I think I have. Kim always fills me with confidence and peace when she's live. Thank you so much, Dane. First of all, that makes me very glad, very happy. Because if I'm not doing that, what else? What other purpose am I here for? Seriously. Why do I do it? I know why. I want everybody to get their shit. I want to show everybody so I can have my selfish moment of, I told you so. Told ya. Knew you were going to get it. Knew it was going to happen because I do. Because I was also the person that didn't think she was actually going to get it at all. I was the person that doubted, and I had a list of excuses and reasons. Now, granted, knowing what I know now, that was me agreeing with it. That was me identifying with it. That was me believing in the one solid avatar me, not knowing myself as the I am, right? But, so I know some of you are still out there. I know that. Not necessarily you, Dana. I know that you know all of this too. But I think that it's normal to doubt and it's normal to fear. And by normal, I know normal is relative. So from my perspective, it's normal. Because you're still experiencing the character you. You're still going to experience it. You're still going to move from state to state to state to state. You're still going to experience physical reality. So we might have moments where we kind of fall asleep to our knowingness, to our awareness, and get reentangled and forget again. Oh, I'm more than just human. I'm more than just the muggle meat sack. I'm much more than that. So much more. Carrie Ann, I'm loving you. Thank you so much. I've seen your multiple comments telling people to subscribe. I appreciate you. Oh, that was a good one, Brittany. Surrender equals let go of trying to control your 3D. Yes. As illogical as it sounds, stop using your 3D as the validation or the evidence that you really are who you are knowing yourself to be. Side note, I know you want what you want in reality. I said this earlier. I know you do. I know you want to experience it in physical reality. Oh, you're going to. You will. But we got to stop relying on it to dictate or for you to make your decision that you are who you say you are based on 3D. And I think a lot of us do that. I know I did. I would say the first several years of my journey, I was doing that. If things were looking like they were going the way I wanted, I was great and I believed I was who I said I was. But if things were going shitty well, then I would let the 3D also then tell me who I was. If things are shitty, that means I'm not my new self. That means I don't have what I want. Granted, I would have used different terminology throughout my journey, but as far as now, I would have let it tell me that I failed, that my manifestation failed. I would have let it tell me it's not working. So therefore, that's who I am. So I was selecting that version of myself when it just wasn't true. I needed to stop relying on it. Okay? The 3D isn't the final judge of who you are. Your awareness is. So who are you? I am. Fill in the blank. Who are you? Who do you really sincerely know yourself to be? That's what matters. Not what the 3D is showing you. Because your 3D could look absolutely nowhere near what you want, and you can still know yourself to be the self you want to be. And guess what? That 3D will have no option but to rearrange itself or bend to you, to reflect to you. It must. It's not an option because you are reality. You are. Sorry, he's working the grill, so he's going back and forth. That's the strange man walking by the window. That's SP. I knew it. I told you so. I can't wait for you to tell me that. I can't wait to, Babs, because I know I am going to say it to you. I already know myself to be the version of self that's going to say, I told you so. I should say it to every single one of you right now. I told y'all so, because I know you're all going to get what you want. I know it. Mr. Kim trying to be seen. There we go. I manifested him getting on camera. He's walked by how many times? And see, she don't like it when you see her. She's standing up on the end of the couch because she wants to go out with him. But then see, she goes out with him. But then she comes back and barks at the door to come inside because she wants me too. She wants us together. I am not exaggerating that. I think he didn't believe me until we were officially living together that he could see. No, she corrals us, which makes sense. You know, pit bulls were used as, what do you call it? The dogs for the farms, like babysitting. She wants us together. That's her happy place. Oh, dear. Hey, little sis. That's Keisha. All right, my friends. This is where I must go. You okay? She must fell off the couch. Do you know that I was supposed to get off this live like 45 minutes ago? And I didn't. Because I just get so involved talking with y'all. I love it. This is my happy place. Or one of my happy places. Anyway. I love you all. Hold on. What did you say? I sent you a chat. Hey, Kim. I think, is it a member chat? Had some big internal shifts this week and gained deeper understanding of what it means to stand in my I am. Love ya. Okay, I'm so glad. I am so glad. Good. Good. I'm very happy to hear this. So I can only imagine what you are choosing for yourself. Okay. Anyway, I love you all. I shall see you all. Hot seaters, remember, there is no hot seat group this week. I'm going to do my best to do a little mini 30-minute maybe live while out on vacation. Okay? You gonna be seen now? Do you wanna be seen now? There she is. Thank you, pretty girl. There she is for the goodbyes. All right. But yes, tomorrow night, yes. Yes. Sorry, you're right. I should say that. Exclusive lives. Exclusive lives. We are still on tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Okay? Can we say, I can't say the words because she's going to think that we're going somewhere. So I'll leave it as I will see you all tomorrow. Okay? All right. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, you know me. I'm going to keep talking. So just ending it.